But it was like, you know how people say, or I don't know if you've heard this, but you know how people say like Jumbo's is like the Disneyland of strip clubs? At least I've heard that.
No, the only one that I remember is Jumbo's Clown Room, where strippers go to die.
Oh yeah,
which
yeah.
That ended in 2009 or 10.
Yeah,
people stopped saying that.
Yeah, I've heard that
I've
too.
never heard the Disneyland of no.
I think
Gross.
I'm pretty sure that's been said to me. Like I definitely have that in my head for a reason.
No,
but so my point there was, if like, okay, like people say that, but the place where I started, that was really the Disneyland of stripping, because it was just so like, it was so copacetic, you know.
Was this in like a different state?
Yeah, I was in Baltimore.
Okay, it was in Baltimore.
Yeah.
Okay. Yikes.
I know. And I don't want to trash it because like it was a big part of.
Yeah. No,
I know. Like, but. I mean, it is a little ridiculous, but it doesn't exist anymore, so it's no longer a place. But like, a big part of my heart is still there. Okay. But yeah, it was different. It was different.
I'm sure it sounds very different. I mean, no floor work. My God.
I know. So
that's
I didn't know.
70%
like,
of my routine.
We used to practice in the dressing room where no one could see us. We would like get on all fours and like, you know, do like this crazy version of twerking. Like, this is how you do it, and like teach each other.
Put your back into it.
Yeah, like
that is not how you twerk.
I know, but we called it like the hurricane or something. We're like, teach me how to do the hurricane.
Oh my God, you guys are so funny. Were you a bunch of white girls?
Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Mostly Eastern European girls.
Okay. Gotcha.
And then me.
So when you started stripping, like, did you see that as like a platform for you to pursue other arts and things in your life that you wanted?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. And I think like that was something that I discovered more and more. Like when I started, it was like I thought I hit the jackpot because I had just gotten out of college, and I loved college because I got to study gender and women and sexuality, and like that was what I majored in.
That's not what I thought you were going to say.
Oh.
I thought you were going to say, I loved college because I could get topless at frat parties.
Ew.
I mean, isn't that what college girls do? I don't know.
We didn't have frats at my college, which is one of the reasons why I chose that college.
Right.
But I was the one throwing the parties that everyone would get naked at.
Exactly. I knew it. I knew that about you.
And that was my whole bag. Like, it would be like, oh, go over to Megan's house. She's having one of her, I would call it like these like deviant parties. Like, I'm having a deviant party on Friday. Yeah. And we would all like dress up in like fishnets and corsets and like crazy costumes. And then like at a certain time of the night when like everyone was like feeling good, everyone's drunk, and like we're listening to our favorite music, and like everyone just got naked.
So you just basically made your own strip club.
Yes. And then when I graduated, I'm like, well, what am I going to do with this degree in women, gender, and sexuality studies? I'm like, I know. Okay, so listen. So there was this ad in Craigslist.
Okay.
And I will remember this ad forever until I die.
Okay.
This ad was non-traditional exotic club seeks entertainers. Are you creative? Are you looking to be more creative? And I was like, what does any of that mean?
Yeah.
And then so obviously I answered it.
Obviously.
And it was
Must know more.
It was this club. And I like showed up, and it was these like beautiful girls in like tutus and corsets, like doing like little twirls around a pole. And I was like, this is my life now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Craigslist.
So to answer your question, I think I kind of got away from it. But so that was my post-college like gig. And then at the same time, I was like teaching like theater at like an after school program in Baltimore, and I was working at a coffee shop, and I was doing like all these plays, and I was doing children's theater and like community theater. Like I was doing all this other stuff.
Busy.
But then this was like my creative outlet.
Sure.
And it wasn't even really the money at that point, which I know is hilarious, but like we didn't really make a lot of money there.
Sure.
It was a weird truck stop that like people stopped in and they had no idea what it was because it like wasn't a strip club.
Wow.
It was just this weird like anomaly. And they're like, why?
And you made money by tips on stage, I'm assuming.
We actually would make money by walking around and talking to the patrons and then asking them for a tip. It was like
they
very
didn't tip
direct.
you on stage?
No, because the stage was separated by the bar. It was like there was like as if like the
So were you
like
behind the bartenders?
Yes.
I hate that shit.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Yeah. Well, at the time it was like I didn't know anything different. It's like it didn't bother me because it was like whatever.
I despise it.
And
I think
so we would like go around to everyone
so
and be like,
cool.
"Hi, how's it going? You having a good night? Great. Would you like to tip me for my dance?" And then they
Give
would
me money now.
Yeah. And like I just loved that. Like and like no one was like off the hook, you know? Like everyone who's sitting there watching you at least has to engage with you and like they have to like either choose to give you $1 or more than $1 or no dollar and then like deal with you right there. Be like, "Oh, have a good night." You know what I mean? So like it's
Egg. For those of you who can't see my face, it's not a happy one because you like literally are like, "Hi, did you like my show? Can you tip me?" And they could very well be like,
yeah.
you know.
But then like we just get them kicked out. Which
Oh,
this
really?
is why we made no money. Like this is like
Okay.
this was how it was
Wow.
like set
I
up.
can see why they're not open anymore.
I know.
Got it.
God bless
That's
them.
a shame. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, when you put so many regulations on how women should move their body, and then that sounds like their own like classification of, and their own, was it subjective when it's your own personal opinion on
Yeah.
how? So it's like floor work can be whatever, classy, not classy is just so unfair, I think, because again, it's all subjective what you think is class, and who fucking cares also, because now you're just creating a class system of women, and by creating a class system you're marginalizing groups of people who are doing something that you deem as bad, and then by marginalizing those people you're putting them in danger because it's like, oh well, those women are bad and so therefore I can judge them and potentially treat them like shit.
Yeah.
And so it sounds like they were like the antithesis of that. Like, you don't do floor work and don't twerk because that's only what bad, dirty, gross women do. And we're not like them. And that's exactly like one of the topics that I like to talk about on the show is why classifying women from each other. And even I've heard sex workers classify each other. And by doing that, by saying this one thing is right and this one thing is wrong, then it's okay to be shitty to these people who are being wrong.
Right. Yeah, and I think it took some time to undo. Well, I guess I'm still working on it.
Yeah, I mean, we're born into this way of thinking and believing. And one of the things I talk about a lot too is I love the term gaslighting.
Yeah.
I just love that term. And we have been gaslit since
Yeah.
we're infants.
Yeah.
And I mean, we're gaslit at grocery stores. You go and there's like the magazines at the checkout. I swear that was whoever's in charge of gaslighting, that was their amazing idea. They're like, let's put magazines at grocery store checkout so everyone has to see that you should look like this actress or this singer. You should buy all the things that they wear on their face and on their bodies. But if you act like them, we're going to tell you you're being slutty and we're going to leave comments and tell you you're a whore and that, oh, what does your dad think about you? But buy a CoverGirl, buy these clothes. But if you act like this and do what they're doing, we're going to, it just like cycles.
Well, and it's like, it's the cover of like what's a really nice one, like
Vogue, Cosmopolitan,
and then
Marie
like
Claire.
National Enquirer. It's like
Yeah.
transgressive women get the National Enquirer
Right.
headline. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like,
Yeah. Or like, look at how fat and old she is now. Isn't that horrible? Don't be like her.
Those people who make that.
It's awful.
That magazine should just stop.
Right. So that's like, that's the gaslighting that we've been growing up with. And then we're like, oh, I need to be young and beautiful all the time. And I have to get all this like plastic surgery and all this shit in my face. Like I do Botox, like whatever. I don't care. But like, it's so offensive that I'm actually losing my train of thought thinking about it. All these flashes and images going through my head about all the shit we deal with. And it's like, and now if I don't look like this and I start freaking out, then I'm crazy. Oh, well, you're just crazy. Oh, you're hysterical. So it's like, we can't win no matter what we do. We're constantly under a microscope. We're constantly being pressured. And then we're constantly being forced to police ourselves and therefore each other. Because if you're policing yourself and you see someone next to you, you're like, oh, you're kind of being slutty. Like, because you don't want to associate with that. And so now it's just like gaslighting and classification all happening all at once from literally the day we're born. And so, of course, you're having a hard time calling yourself a stripper.
Yeah.
Of course. I mean, I started stripping technically when I was like 18 at my friend's house in New Jersey, that one night. And there's no way in hell I would have called myself a stripper in that moment. I was nude in front of my friends in a well-lit living room. And I'm sorry.
Sounds
that's
hot.
what a house call stripper does. Okay. The only difference was I did not get paid for it.
Fuck.
Yeah. Exactly. Anyway, thank you for letting me rant.
Girl, I'm here for it.
Yeah. So what's it going to take for you to get comfortable calling yourself a stripper?
I mean, I feel like I'm making significant progress actually, like, lately. Like, I really feel with a lot of the activism that's going on in the community and in the climate.
And when you say community, you mean sex worker community?
Yeah, like thank you. Yes, sex worker community, sometimes specifically like stripper community.
Sure.
But like also like, things online and just like and I have feelings about like Sesta Fosta and like, sex workers being in danger from these laws. And then, and then also slut shaming and coming from men and then but also women, like what you're talking about, like classifications of other women that you deem like beneath you. And like, so, for a long time I was like, oh, I'm an ally. I'm a sex worker ally. I'm a, and then it was like, I'm a stripper ally. I'm a, like just when I was putting things out like publicly, you know what I mean? Like, especially on like Facebook.
Yeah.
But I think like when I hit like 10 years dancing, which was like last year, and I was getting the word out about my show. So I wrote a one-woman show that deals with autobiographical elements from my life about being, well, okay, listen. So the subtitle of the show, I say exotic dancer. But I wonder if I should change it. And like, actually, I was having this conversation yesterday with someone who's like, oh, you call yourself an exotic dancer? And I'm like, yeah. And then I started to explain. I'm like, it's because of this baggage and I'm working on it,
Yeah.
But so last year, what was my 10th year of dancing. And so I was getting the word out about my show. That was like me coming out on like Facebook to like my friends and family, like, okay, so you've seen, like posts of me like half naked or like pole dancing. And like, I like did this play where I was a pole dancer and that I like do burlesque, but like, okay, like, let's just say it. Like, let's just get it out. Like, I work as an exotic dancer. That's what I do, and that was like a big deal for me. Really. And like,
after
I, like,
10 years.
After 10 years. And just to like put it publicly, like to my entire community. And I think Instagram's like a little bit different, but like Facebook in particular with like, my aunts and uncles and stuff. And I was like, here we go. And like pressing the like publish, I was like sweating and I turned to Jan and I was like, oh my God, I'm about to like come out.
Yeah, that is pretty interesting. I have a question for you.